Hi guys, tonight we're going to deal with mystery, but I'm giving you fair warning in advance that this mystery is going to make you feel very, very uncomfortable. This mystery occurred October the 25th, 2017. The reason why we're finding out about it now is through the Freedom of Information Act. This involves a passenger jet full of people with a mysterious object, also called mysterious aircraft, also called intruder aircraft, that was first seen on radar traveling northeastern California at an extremely high rate of speed, where it made a sharp turn to the north and merged into air traffic, where it began following a passenger jet at very, very close range. The response to this, at first, air traffic could not understand why at first they saw it on radar. But then this mysterious object, or intruder aircraft as it was called, completely disappeared from radar. At first, air traffic control thought that they had lost a plane that did not have a transponder on it that they could not communicate with. So, of course, air traffic control was in a panic until other airline pilots that were flying in that air traffic control area saw the other passenger jet with the object following close behind it. They began reporting it to air traffic control. That's when air traffic control quickly began to realize they have a problem, because they can see the passenger jet, but they can't see what's called the intruder aircraft behind it. But other pilots from other passenger jets can see it. So what is air traffic control's response to this? They called the 142nd Fighter Wing, based out of Portland International Airport, North American Aerospace Defense Command, which is NORAD, in the FAA, to deal with the ordeal. NORAD's response was quick and clear. The incident involving a multi-liner aircraft crew, air traffic control, F-15Cs from the 142nd Fighter Wing based out of Portland occurred. In other words, they called out F-15s. In case you don't know what an F-15 is, it is a fighter jet equipped with missiles to shoot whatever it was down that was flying close to a passenger airline. I want you to take a moment to think about that for a minute. Thank God it didn't occur, but if it did, if they shot down that object close to a passenger jet, it would have taken down the passenger jet. But let's listen to the evidence that has been now released from the Freedom of Information Act, so you can hear it for yourself, decide for yourself. Again, this is going to make you very uncomfortable and very uneasy, how their response was to this incident, and basically what could have happened. Thank God it did not. What you need to know, there is some things you do need to know before we start this, is you need to understand some of their code words. First of all, you'll notice that they refer to something called DIN. You'll hear it repeatedly during the audio recordings that have been released. DIN is the Domestic Events Network, which is a short hotline system that is used to bridge the FAA and federal authorities, namely the military. You will also hear the term WADS, which is a nickname or call sign, Bigfoot. This refers to the northeastern air defense sector of NORAD that monitors the airspace over a huge area of the United States and Canada. It's based at a McChord Air Force Base in Washington. WADS scrambles the fighters that are needed and works to direct them to their targets of interest during domestic air sovereignty missions. In other words, just shoot stuff down. Let's listen to what has been released from the Freedom of Information Act. I should also give you fair warning that some of this audio that you're about to hear has been edited. There's going to be gaps in it where it sounds like they deleted some of the tape. Apparently, there's something in there they don't want us to know about, they don't want us to hear, but this is what they released to the public for your consumption. So let's get to it.
Welcome to the desk.
Yeah, how you doing? Just
Hey, how's it going?
good. Hey, we just had a weird thing that happened. Kind of.
37,000 feet
Yeah.
coming to you. It's a real aircraft, but nobody knows who it is.
Really?
It's been reported by the pilot right behind them.
Really?
Yeah, and the target's been jumping around, but we have no code, no nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just going to call you and tell you that there could be a plane that's...
At 37?
Yeah. So
another aircraft actually visually saw it.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Well, that's getting even stranger. I was thinking, as I was talking to our SLC guys, and thinking that they said there are some telco issues going on down in that area.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm going to check with her.
do you know how far in front or behind is another aircraft it was?
Let's see here. He's talking to Southwest 4712, and he was talking to United. So, how many aircraft have seen it now? He's still chirping at the airplane there. Anyways, yeah, whatever you did see, if it looked like it was a target, we had it too for a second, and then it's gone again.
Mhm. But I thought what I had heard it was the beacon code of another aircraft that we had.
That could have been. I've been working on this for like 2 minutes.
Okay.
So I don't know that much about it yet.
Okay.
I was trying to get our guys to look at it.
All right. So north.
Who's here right now?
I'm sorry. What?
In between Red Bluff and you was the last known reported, or
Okay. Okay.
So I guess we'll go from there.
And do we know a direction?
Just appeared to be just northbound, just like everybody else.
Okay.
So, who is? Okay, Fence is looking for it now.
Okay.
So maybe they'll find out something.
Okay.
I'll let you know if I find anything more.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Watch this.
Hi.
Yeah.
So are you listening to any of this? Or the Sector 14, they're actually talking about Southwest 4712. He actually has visual on an aircraft that he estimates about 37,000.
Which airplane has visual?
Southwest 4712?
Yeah.
He has visual on an airplane, and we don't even see him on a primary.
Torn northbound.
Yeah.
What kind of, do you have any other information?
He's working on getting a mileage and description out of him right now, but Oakland just called, and they said they've already called the den on this.
Oh, they did? Okay.
So,
okay.
I'll just let you know if I hear anything else.
Okay.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
I was just going to call you.
I just listened to all that, so I'm wondering if we can ask if they can even determine the type of an airplane Are we talking about a 737 or a Learjet or a?
You know, the United. I heard they said that he said it was a spec. I'm not really sure.
I don't know what does that mean?
I don't know, like something small.
Oh, it's small. Okay.
So, but they're wanting us to call WADS on it. That's what Oakland just called me and said that they were working with WADS, and so they're wanting us to call them now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
So we'll do that.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Seattle Center Operation.
Hey, sir, this is.
Yes.
Hey, so are you read in on the situation with the?
Yeah, I was just on the WADS phone. So, and I was just telling them, United 612. I don't know if you're painting him. It's off its 3 o'clock position, about 10 or 15 miles is the aircraft. At 370 going northbound. In fact, we just got a hit of a target right now, intermittent.
So do you have a last reported heading speed and altitude for the violator?
We don't because we haven't been able to track him up. But I would say the heading is he's parallel to United 612. He's just been there the whole time.
Okay. Yeah, because initially it was reported Southwest 4712 was the guy that he was shadowing.
Well, he was at Southwest 4712. He's about his 1 or 2 o'clock position before, which he's still about his 1 o'clock position.
Okay, so you're saying now he's shadowing United 612?
Yeah, 3 o'clock and 10 to 15 miles.
Okay.
And just a white airplane, no markings, unable to determine the type of an aircraft right now.
So you would say he's 15 miles to the southeast of United Airlines?
I would say, he said 3 o'clock position, so I would say east.
Okay. Okay, so about 5 miles to the southeast then? It'll be about 3 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay. Stand by, sir.
Yes, sir. We're going to give you a traffic call because there's kind of an unusual situation. Traffic potentially to your 1 o'clock, call to 1 o'clock at 40 miles opposite directions, estimated between 350 and 370.
Now they're saying the altitude is estimated between 350 and 370.
Okay, yeah, that's what we got reported initially was 37,000 feet. And do you guys have an estimated speed?
Well, we don't. We're unable to track anything up on it. So
He's at least keeping up with
correct.
United Airlines.
Yes,
Okay.
he's staying right between United and Southwest.
Okay. All right, that's where we have him placed then.
Okay.
So as soon as you guys get updates on any of those, if the speed changes or anything else, if you can hit us up over the shell line.
Will do.
All right, copy that. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Bye. Seattle Center Operation.
Yeah, it's Bigfoot again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just checking to see if you guys had any updates on that.
So still a Beam United.
Yeah,
612.
Between United and Southwest.
Where he's basically a Beam United. He seems, and United said he seems to be tracking about the same speed.
No aircraft type.
No, he's just at a he's just at a distance away that they can't really make it out. Just a white aircraft with no markings.
Okay. Yeah, because we're going to be, when we have our assets within visual range, they like to kind of know what they're looking for. So
yeah, so they've been tracking it up. We had a SkyWest 3478 that was going southbound that also saw it there as well. So kind of a Beam United, but United is descending for Portland, and so is Southwest 4712. So kind of in that general area. We've been putting some like our own targets up there, kind of a beam, that area, but
yeah.
Those guys are descending for their airports, so now we don't have anything there exactly at that spot.
Okay, yeah, we have them heading about 345 at 300 knots. That mesh with what data you guys have?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. All right, yeah, well, if there's any changes, please pass us over the shout line so we can get that updated.
Yeah.
Like I said, our assets will be in tow and they can take a look at it.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right, sir. Thank you.
I saw that. Seattle Center Operation.
Hey, headquarters, Sam. How are you?
Hey, good.
Hey, calling about this unknown aircraft that's being reported.
Yeah, so I don't know if you're painting anything in our airspace right now, but United 612, currently northbound going to Portland, and then behind him is Southwest 4712. There's an aircraft somewhere in that position between like United's 3 to 4 o'clock position, Southwest 1 o'clock position, about 10 to 15 miles east of United. Is an aircraft northbound, estimated between 350 and 370. We don't know the type of an aircraft other than just white, but it doesn't have any markings on it.
White with what?
No markings.
No markings. White with no markings. Okay.
So they're unable to determine exactly what type of an aircraft it is at this point.
Okay. So at United's 4 o'clock and Southwest's 1 o'clock.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And I'm not painting anything.
Yeah, we see nothing either. So I just talked to WADS, and so they're watching it too. And we just did a few minutes ago, got a couple little hits there.
They're calling you right now if you want to answer on the done.
Oh. Okay.
So understand that you guys are you guys requesting military assistance to go up and take a look at, in this vicinity? Did you guys request military assistance?
Seattle Center Operation.
Hey, at FAA headquarters. Can you have somebody up over the den?
Yeah.
For this whole hullabaloo?
Yeah, we're getting a Tanner line set up. I don't know if you guys dial into those or not.
No, I don't know. So, yeah, she's calling you over the den whenever anybody can answer up.
That's weird because I must not be connected because I don't hear a thing. I might have to dial back in.
Yeah, she just called again.
Right.
Can this phone go over the den?
This phone right here? No, I'll have to dial back in on a different phone.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, cool. Thank you. Bye.
Seattle Center Operation.
Hey, they're looking for you on the den.
Yeah, I know the line's not
They want
not connected. I got to dial back in.
Oh, your speakerphone? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to talk to you.
Yep. Bye.
Hey, so reference they want to fly the cap around Battleground and said keep some traffic flow around them. Are you good with the Seattle still going underneath them, or does he not want any traffic at all in that vicinity?
You mean the cap around Battleground 31 to 35? Is that what you're talking about?
Right. So the departures from 32 should be fine. They keep them under them, or?
31 to 35 is what his block is now. I don't see.
He doesn't mean like keep them away, because I mean they're circling around, right? I figured if we had anybody going northbound, you guys could take them under, right?
Yeah, under would be fine. You have a problem with? Oh, stand by. We're talking to the den. Hold on. I'm a little worried in case I have to descend real fast, but there's saying put him in the 16s airspace.
He didn't really say. He just said maybe keep him out of the space, but I don't really know what exactly he wants me to keep out. Well, you know what I mean?
For now, if you keep him under that block altitude, should be fine.
Okay, so we'll just let the area know to watch the rocks and keep aircraft under them?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, bye.
Air.
Hey.
Yeah.
So Rock 1 and Rock 2 are going to do flying a cap around Battleground for now.
Okay.
31 to 35. They just said keep anybody, like if the departures are going around that area, keep them under, unless I guess you can top them really well.
Okay.
So just keep an eye on those guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Air.
Hey, it's again. Are
Yeah.
you guys on the Tanner line?
Yes.
Okay, because I guess they're wanting to move them up towards the Tracon.
Yeah, we have somebody on the Tanner line.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye.
Air.
It's again.
Yep.
We are going to meet her. We're going to keep your delays to 5 minutes or less, just because of everything that's going on.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
And now we get to the part of the tapes that were released through the Freedom of Information Act, where the cover-up begins. Of course. The first part of the release tape, you're going to hear a lady who is not happy, who is asking the big question, who requested this scramble? In other words, who requested that NORAD sent out F-15s to shoot around a passenger airline? She wants to know who made that call. And apparently she's bitching somebody out from the FAA headquarters. The gentleman from the FAA headquarters, whose name is bleeped out by the people who were releasing the tapes from the Freedom of Information Act, is trying to squirm his way out of it. Literally trying to not take any kind of responsibility. I don't know if it was his fault or somebody else's fault, but somebody made that call to NORAD and requested that F-15s go shoot an object down by an passenger airline. So the first part is little confrontation going on. Then the next part is the FAA, the guy from the FAA headquarters trying to coerce the pilots who actually saw the object to make some kind of official report. As you know from UFO stories and UFO encounters, commercial airline pilots do not like to file any kind of UFO report, or as they're calling it in this story, intruder aircraft, unknown aircraft, mysterious aircraft following a commercial airliner. So it's a series of phone calls that they're trying to coerce these pilots to make a written statement. And well, you're going to hear it from yourself. Several phone calls, the pilots are like, well, you know, I saw something, but I don't know what it was. It was some kind of white object. It was following the commercial airline, too far away to see what it was. The last pilot was a little bit more forthcoming. He was actually the most interesting one, because basically he immediately states how strange the encounter was, and that he had never seen anything like it in his 30 years of flying jets. He did not know what it was. He did watch the object from Northern California all the way to its descent into Portland, Oregon. So he was observing it for quite a long time. He's the only one who, all the descriptions said this intruder object was a white object. He also said it was a white object. The other pilots described it as a speck, something small that was following the commercial airliner. The last pilot that was interviewed in this telephone conversation, he calls it a large object. What he saw, it was a large object. He said it was big, but he didn't know what it was. He had never seen anything like it in his 30 years of flying. Think about that for a minute. 30 years of being a pilot. You've seen every kind of aircraft there was. You couldn't identify it. Also think again, if it was one of ours, top secret military aircraft, well, first of all, I don't think we'd be flying it around commercial air traffic because it would be seen, it would be noticed. And if we called NORAD on it, NORAD wouldn't send out F-15s to try to shoot it down. So this is some serious shit. Let's listen to what they released to the public. Again, there's going to be a lot of bleeps. There's going to be parts of the tape where you hear nothing, that they erased whatever those pilots were saying to them because they didn't want it recorded and they did not want it released to the general public. All we have to go on is what was released. So I'll let you listen to it yourself. I will note at the very end, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, I'm going to go ahead and give it away. The very end, the gentleman from the FAA is basically lying to his superiors. And he states that the pilot from the Southwest 4712 airline told him that it was a big jet. This is not what the pilot told him. He said he never seen anything like it before. He didn't know what it was. But the very last phone call is the cover-up, where basically the guy is just saying, lying. He's saying, yeah, the pilot told me it was the intruder aircraft was a big jet. And they released it to the general public. You think they would have edited that out, but they didn't. So, for your amusement, your entertainment, and for your displeasure, I'm going to let you listen to what they released to the general public. Good luck with it.
You have reached the FAA Air Traffic Security Coordinator. Be advised, all calls may be recorded or monitored.
Air Traffic Security.
Hey, this is Seattle Center. I'm wondering what you guys think about having us call the pilots.
Hey, hold on just a second. Actually, I'm answering for and she's just about to get off the other line.
Okay.
Just a second.
All right.
Hey.
Hey there. I'm wondering if we have the pilots we have at least 3 aircraft that reported this other aircraft or whatever it was. I wonder if we'd call them and have them give us some more information about what it is they saw, or do you want any of that stuff? Would that be helpful?
I think that would be very helpful, along with trying to find out who requested or approved WADs to scramble the ROC 01 and 02, because I was on the line trying to get a hold of you guys, because LA was saying that you guys requested military assistance from WADs.
No, somebody called me, Oakland called me and said, hey, WADs wants you to call them, so I did. And I just said,
Oakland called you?
Yeah, so Oakland was initially the one that had this report of these airplanes, seeing this other guy at 37. So they told us first. So all we did was start asking these pilots a bunch of questions when they got in our airspace. So the Oakland OMIC or whoever calls me, or actually I don't remember if it was the area, called our area, or me here at my number, and said that WADS was asking, wanted to talk to me. So I called them, and they were asking me a bunch of different questions, and then they scrambled. I don't know. We went through the whole scramble process, you know, and they had the command posts and all the facilities on and all that business. It was
Right.
kind of all.
That request for military assistance has to come from FAA headquarters.
Yeah, I didn't ask for the assistance. I just said Oakland said that they wanted me to call WADS. So I just picked up the phone and called WADS and said, hey, this is going on. You know, what do you need from me? So they were asking me, well, where is the plane? What's this? What's that? A bunch of different questions.
Okay.
So I didn't approve or ask for anything. I just was giving information.
Okay. Did you hear me calling, asking over the den line?
So when you first were calling, no, because I guess we got disconnected. So I wasn't hearing that, but I was calling on this number that I called you, you know, just on a regular phone.
Yeah.
I called that, and they said, well, they're trying to call you on the den on the other, and I'm like, oh, I don't know why I'm not hearing that, and then I realized it was disconnected.
I tried several times to call on the den, and I tried several times to call you on the landline.
Well, on the landline, I had the phone with me the whole time. Although I've had Bigfoot calling me a million times. Command center called me. I've been down in the area. I've been all over this building. So anyway, I was thinking that we could call the pilots for United 612 and anyway, we had three aircraft had 4712, United 612, and a SkyWest, I think SkyWest or Compass going southbound that also saw it as well. I was thinking
SkyWest 3748.
Yeah.
And then there was a request from WADS to ask Alaska 439 for a sighting, and they came back as a negative, but there was also an Alaska 525 that was in trail of Southwest 4712 who at some point the walk operations person here said they heard that they made a request as well, or that WADS was calling something out over the line asking for Alaska 439, but it was really Alaska 525. That was in trail with Southwest 4712.
I saw that, but I don't know if Alaska ever saw them or not.
Okay.
So
if you can reach out to those four aircraft and see if any four of them can confirm or they're willing to write up a report.
Okay. Who would they send it to? If I ask them to send it to somebody.
You can have them send it to the headquarters then.
What's the email address? Okay. Okay. Yeah, we were talking here, and in hindsight, I'm wondering so we had those two aircraft descending for Portland, if we should have just let them descend and keep a visual until the scramble was out there, I guess.
Well, that's, I mean,
you hate to do
I don't know
that.
if that's the greatest idea either, though, because we don't know what this aircraft, if they're equipped with anything, or, you know what I mean?
Right.
So keeping an aircraft in the air to go head-on with an aircraft unidentified, no markings, probably not a great idea. Probably would have been a good idea to get the military involved, but like I said, again, that request has to come from FAA headquarters then, and I explicitly said over the line that a headquarters then was not in conference with requesting military assistance at that time.
Yeah, nobody.
And I was on the den, because I had no radar, I had no target, I had nothing.
Yeah, we had nothing either. We had nothing either
from anybody. So I would not send up the fighters to go up and tootle around and send
right. Yeah. Right. We're flying around for. We don't even know what we're looking for.
Right.
Right.
So.
I don't know where they thought they got the call to do that. I don't know if by me calling them, because I got to ask Oakland, because Oakland said, hey, Watts was looking for you to call them. Okay.
Right.
So I'll just pick up the phone and, yeah, what do you get?
WADS knows better. That request has to come from Hefe headquarters Den, and I announced that over the red switch and over the Den. So I don't know. I'm not getting any answers as to who made that call. So unless they did themselves, which I don't know if they'll admit to that or not.
All right. Well.
Okay. Well.
Let me get on the phone and call these. Call and see if we can get these pilots to send a report of what they saw.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Bye.
I sure will. Oakland Center Watch Desk.
How you doing, Seattle?
Hey.
So, you got a second?
Sure.
So, reference this whole unknown aircraft at 37,000 feet.
Uh-huh.
You guys initially had a couple of airplanes in your airspace right around our boundary, right, that we're seeing this?
Correct.
Is that right?
South. That was Southwest 4712.
12 and United 612?
612, correct.
Right, okay. And so when you guys were doing that and you were initially talking to the Den, right, you told them?
Not at this point. Probably 1 minute later.
Okay.
As the supervisor came down and told me, and then I asked him to call me offline.
Okay. So you didn't, and then you
actually, I talked to the Den after I talked to you.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes, because I told him you saw the same target swap or whatever we saw.
Right. So then, at some point, somebody called, and I don't know if it was on my phone here or our area phone, and said that the Den wanted to talk to me, and so did WADS. So, anyway, I guess what the issue is they're trying to say that somebody ordered a scramble without having headquarters do it, and I'm like, I didn't.
No,
I didn't order a scramble. All I did is call Western because they asked me to.
Right, and we had. I mean, they had talked to us about it. Our Oceanic soup was on the phone with WADS, and he had requested it, and then headquarters called me back after I talked to them offline, and then I let them talk to the Oceanic soup, and then that's where we left it there, and then the aircraft kept getting spotted, and then it just kind of escalated from there.
Yeah, okay. All right, I was just trying to recall
we just heard that you guys were requesting assistance as well over the Den line, and that was it. So. Okay, well. But there was definitely something out there.
There was definitely something there. There's no question, because United 612 was it was off this guy's, it was off United 612. It was off of his 3 o'clock and about 5 to 10 miles for probably 100 miles. He was seeing it. So anyway, what we're doing is we're trying to reach out to the pilots of all those aircraft to see if they can write us a little report of what they saw. So, because then, so those two guys that United and that Southwest were descending for Portland, and so now, of course, they are losing a visual, but the fighters aren't there yet. So now we got fighters out flying all over, and they don't know where they're going or what they're looking for.
Right, especially now it's probably almost dark, or if not dark.
Yeah.
And then, so our radar did pick up an intruder target coming in at a high speed right towards the southwest. The controller quoted.
But wasn't it going southbound though, not northbound?
Southbound, and then it did an abrupt maneuver and just took off northbound. So what? He was southbound. Yeah, we saw him. Now he's northbound.
Weird.
Yeah. So I was just watching the Falcon, and then I'll have somebody that's more techie take a look at the ERAM playback in the morning, but that's just going to show the data.
Right.
It won't be synced up to voice. So.
Right. Okay.
And then, were you going to put in an MOR on this as well?
I'm not sure what to do with all this. I mean,
so there is one that's on there, an unknown aircraft. I was just going to put in just like we just talked about.
Right.
You know?
Kind of a synopsis of what happened.
Yeah, the time frame, which aircraft, and somebody else is going to go through this, I have a feeling, with a fine-tooth comb. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, I'll be working tomorrow 11 to 7 if you need anything.
Yeah, I'm on the swing again tomorrow night. So
Yeah.
Is your first name?
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy that'll be working this evening is.
Okay.
He's been an omic down here for a long, long time.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Seattle Center Operation.
Hey, this is I'm the captain at 612. I was told to give you guys a call concerning an aircraft.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling me. So you were United 612?
Yes.
Hey, so kind of weird tonight with this aircraft at 37. So I appreciate you guys really helping us out and giving us as much information.
Yeah, that's really weird that you didn't have on radar.
Right. Yeah, we had nothing.
Weird part. Yeah.
So we're kind of working with our FAA headquarters, and I'm hoping you can just give if you wouldn't mind taking the time to fill out a report and
Sure.
and about what you saw and some of the specifics if you can, any details you can provide.
Sure, no problem.
It's going to be and then if you want to CC me, that's fine, or include
Sure,
me
I'll
too
do that.
in there. I'm was off your, if I remember right, 3 o'clock position for probably about 100 miles or so.
Right, about 3 to 2 o'clock, about 10 miles off our side, but really just the speck of an airplane. I mean, you could tell it was white, and it was above our altitude, and we're guessing like 4,000 to 5,000 feet. But that's about all I can really kind of tell you. I mean, that's all I know. I mean, he never came close enough for us to really get an IQ on him.
Yeah.
But I will write that down, and I'll send that off. It's not a problem.
That'd be great. And about if you can recall about any kind of details about a position when you first saw it, or how it even
Sure.
came about. Did the controller ask you, or did you just see it before, or any
No,
of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, actually, it was a Southwest airplane that had it in sight, and then after it passed that Southwest airplane, then he called us and asked us if we could see it, and then we took it from there until we had started our descent. But yeah,
Right.
I'll write it down. Do you want me to write an FSAP? Would that be the way to do it?
Well, I was just hoping if you wouldn't mind providing a synopsis of it and just email it to us.
Sure.
But if you want to do an ASAP on that too, that'd be fine.
Okay.
We're just trying to piece it all together because
Sure.
we don't know what it was, and it was not talking air traffic, and it's basically an intruder. So we're just trying to go through some type of protocols here to see.
No problem. And
Check it
listen,
out.
I hate to cut you off, but they're about ready to shut the door, so I'm going to let you go here. But I'll send something out to you guys, all right?
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Bye. Seattle Center Operation.
Hey, this is with Southwest in Portland PDX. How are you?
Good. How's it going?
Good. Good. I think I've just got kind of information. Are you trying to reach a crew member from Flight 4712?
Yes. So we had a bit of an unusual situation tonight with this aircraft that was at 37,000 feet. So we're just trying to piece it all together because that aircraft was not identified, wasn't on radar, wasn't talking air traffic, but you guys were getting visual on it. And so we're trying to, what I'm hoping you wouldn't mind doing is take kind of a...
No, let me so I just want to tell you, I'm ground ops here in Portland, but the crew that brought that plane in, they've already gone to their hotel. I can reach out.
Yeah.
I could reach out to our scheduling and give them this number. Is that would work best for you? If you still need the information from them?
Yeah, I really would like to get some details from them, and I'm hoping that they could submit something for us.
Okay.
But yeah, if you wouldn't mind reaching out to them and have
I'll give them this number. And you Seattle Center?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll do that. They're probably on the shuttle right now, heading to the hotel, and I'll reach out to their schedule and have them give this number for to contact you.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Seattle Center operation.
It's just the captain on Alaska 525. They asked me to call you.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you taking the time to give me a call.
Sure.
So when you were en route to Portland tonight, I'm not sure if you guys were asked if you were seeing an airplane northbound at 37,000 feet.
Yeah, they did ask us.
And did you see anything?
We never did see it. No.
You never did.
We were about 20 miles away, and we looked hard, but we couldn't find it.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm just trying to get a hold of everybody that actually saw something.
Yeah, we were not in that group. We heard a lot of people talking about it, though.
Okay. All right.
Did you guys launch any fighters?
Yeah. Yeah, we
did. Is that the Rock One we heard?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Did they find them?
No. We had a couple airplanes that saw them, but then they had to descend for Portland, so they kind of started losing sight of it, and so. Anyway, we're just trying to get as much information from any of the crew that saw what they saw, and just kind of give us a little synopsis. So, but if you guys didn't see anything, then
no, sorry.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you giving me a call.
You bet.
All right.
Care.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Operations Center, this is. May I help you?
Hey, how you doing? Seattle Center.
Hi. How can I help you today?
Well, I'm just calling to give you some info. I don't know if you've been monitoring the den and.
Actually, I just got in, so.
Oh, okay. Well, we had a weird situation tonight where Oakland Center had unidentified, not on radar aircraft at 37,000 feet. We ended up taking it over, I guess, if you will, in our airspace. And so we had some 3 different aircraft that reported seeing this aircraft at 37,000 feet. Was not on radar, didn't have radio, no nothing. Airplanes were not picking it up on TCAS, but was in our airspace for a while, so they ended up scrambling some fighters off Portland. Never did find anything, but anyway, we're kind of just the dust is starting to settle and cleaning up the paperwork, starting the paperwork anyway, so I never called you guys earlier, but I figured whoever was there was probably listening to it if you're monitoring the den.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think that everybody was pretty busy in here, so they may not have heard that. Did you do an MOR on
I'm
it?
getting ready to do it right now.
Oh, okay. Is it going to be significant?
No, because there was nothing that...
Nothing came of it.
No.
Okay. I'll tell you what, quality control is on another call right now.
Mm-hmm.
Once she gets off of that, why don't we give you a call back?
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Great.
Okay.
Talk to you
All right.
later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Seattle Center operation.
Hello, this is SkyWest 3478. We were given a call to call you guys.
Yeah, I appreciate you giving me a call. So you're the crew flying southbound from heading down to Sacramento, right?
That's correct. It was. I'm the captain. I was pilot flying, and my first officer. He was. He actually saw the target, and it was about. He said 25 to 30 miles away, heading northbound. But he wasn't able to see any distinguishing features.
Okay. I'm wondering, here's what we're hoping. We're asking all the crews that actually had a visual to send us some type of information, anything you can share with us that what you saw in a report, just even any kind of details you have about what you saw, about the approximate time frame, anything you have.
Now, is this under what category? want this under an ASAP? Or,
No, I mean, you could do an ASAP if you want, but obviously I was hoping you guys could just email to myself and to FAA headquarters, and I got an email address for them. We're just trying to go back and look at all of this, all that transpired here, because that aircraft was not talking to air traffic. It wasn't on radar. It wasn't on anything. And so we're just trying to go and kind of pull it apart a little bit. So any kind of details that you can provide us via just an email that said, hey, we were on this flight going down to Sacramento at this time, around whatever time air traffic asked us if we saw an airplane, this is what we saw, just something to that effect, and, you know, a position of where you were, any of that type of information that you recall. If you could send that to us, that would be really helpful.
Okay, what's your email address?
So my email is dot and the other email address is at
Okay, then dot at.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
Okay.
Any kind of, if you want to do an ASAP, that's fine, but anything you can just share with us on what you saw, and that would be helpful, very helpful.
Okay, great then.
Okay, appreciate your help.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Seattle Center Operation.
This is Captain on 4712 Southwest Flight.
Hey, I appreciate you giving me a call back.
Yeah, you bet, man.
So, bit of an unusual night here for us.
Yeah, I know. Hey, can I hang on for 1 second, if you don't mind?
Yeah. You can start thinking more on that one. I'm in the middle of this one.
All right, sorry about that. I had to get out of this noisy area here.
So
yeah, unusual night for you and for me. I've never, in all my years of flying jets, which is coming up on 30 years, I've never had anybody y'all weren't talking to.
Yeah, really strange. We weren't painting them on radar or anything either. So, so what I'm asking you to do, if you wouldn't mind, is if you wouldn't mind sending us an email, kind of describing what you saw. Position, description, altitude, any details you can provide us for about how long you saw it and all of that, that would be perfect. Okay. And I'm going to give you a couple of email addresses. If you want to do an ASAP, that's fine, but this is something separate on the side.
Right.
That would be really helpful.
Okay.
We're trying to piece all this together.
Can you send me, if I give you my email address, can you send me the who you wanted me to send them to?
Sure.
It's at yeah.
Okay.
Did y'all have time to scramble anybody to go take a peek?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
And can you share any of those details?
Well, the issue was that by the time we got there, you guys were already descending. So, you know, now we don't know what we're looking for with the fighters, right? So, yeah, but we did, but we you know,
they didn't see what we were looking at, because no. There was a United flight and a SkyWest flight that saw them too.
Right. Yep. And I've already talked to those pilots, so they're doing the same thing as you guys and just sending some details.
You know, and that's crazy because if it was like a Lear type airframe, probably would not have seen it this clear. This was a white airplane, and it was big, and it was moving at a clip too, because we were keeping pace with it. It was probably moving a little faster than we were, but we weren't converging with them, so it was kind of moving away. But man, we watched them.
So it was a larger aircraft then?
It was a larger aircraft, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, any of those specifics and details that you can share would be great.
Yeah, and I would say the closest we got when the control Oakland gave us the first call. He said, "Hey, I had somebody come up at 37,000 feet at your 1 o'clock and converging," and he goes, "But he's not on my radar anymore. Just can you take a look out there?" And we're like, "Yeah, we see him." He's like, "You see something?" And then that's when it kind of started. We're not talking to him. We don't know who he is.
Right.
And then we watched them. I mean, from Northern California, Oakland Center, all the way till the descent. So probably a good 15 minutes or so. But anyway, yeah, I'll put it all together and respond to those emails that you sent me. And I'd love to know what that was all about. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'll send you an email here in just a couple minutes with the email addresses to send them to.
Okay.
So appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, what's your time frame on getting this back? We have a pretty short overnight, and I'd like to put some thought into it with my FO.
Yeah, I mean, probably sooner than later, but I mean, it doesn't have to be, super lengthy. I mean, obviously, the more you have, the better, but we don't want days to go by for sure.
No, I mean, I'll get it to you tomorrow,
okay.
But I just want to. My first officer is not coming down for dinner, but I want to put something together tonight. Have him just review it, just make sure we're both on the same page, and then I'll give it to you tomorrow.
Yeah, that'd be great with the call sign and the time and where you're going, and all the other specifics you shared with me. That'd be great.
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, man.
All right, take care.
Glad to help. See you. Bye.
Seattle Center Operation.
Hi, my name is calling from the Quality Control Group. I understand someone was trying to speak to QC via the rock earlier today.
Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe. I mean, so I called just to give the rock a little information about an unusual event that happened this evening, and I'm working on filling out the MOR. Oakland gave us a call about a Mode C intruder that they had in their airspace, that they were observing in their airspace right at our boundary. And then later called back and said, well, now it's going northbound at 37,000, and we had a Southwest flight that was observing it. So we tracked that airplane. Well, we didn't have him on radar. We weren't talking to him, but just through pilot reports, we were tracking this aircraft. We were in the communication with the den and then WADS, and then they end up scrambling fighters. But the aircraft that were observing the target at 37,000 started their descent for Portland prior to the fighters getting there, so we kind of lost sight of it. But anyway, so I'm just doing the initial paperwork for this, and I was in communication with the den earlier. I've spoken to the 3 flight crews of the 3 aircraft that did observe this traffic to write us up a little kind of summary of what exactly they saw. And they're going to send that to the den. And so anyway, we're just kind of going through this paperwork process now.
So you said the aircraft had started descent toward Portland. Do we know at this point who he is or what's going on with
No, I don't know if that traffic was descending for Portland. I'm saying that the aircraft that we were in communication with that had been observing the target had to descend for Portland. So where this guy ended up, we don't know.
Oh, so we still don't know.
No. The fighters scrambled. They went out looking around a little bit, but we lost anybody having sight of the aircraft.
Wow, that's weird.
It's really weird, yeah. So, anyway, all 3 of these flight crews are going to write up a little summary or synopsis of what they saw, any specifics, and they're going to email it to the den, and we'll go from there, I guess. So anyway.
Did you guys get any information to indicate if it was a large carrier jet or something smaller or anything?
So the pilot that just called me back now from one that was observing it for probably 100 miles said it was a big jet. It was not some little small. He said it wasn't like a little Learjet or something like that. It was a pretty big jet, and it was going faster than they were. And this Southwest was, it was a Southwest 737 in the flight levels, and they're going 450 knots across the ground, and this thing was going faster than them. So,
okay.
So we don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And really kind of weird. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a SIG event or not, but I was going to initially do it as now, but it also it kind of started in Oakland's airspace, so I think Oakland's going to have an MOR on it as well.
Yeah,
as us.
I haven't checked Cedar yet, but I was just told by the Ops Center that Oakland did enter an MOR, and they checked theirs off as potentially significant. So, I mean, it's strange enough that if you check it out potentially significant, you could. I don't know what else we can do at this point. It sounds like you did all the proper notifications going to the den and alerting the other officers that need to know.
Okay. So do you want me to check it as SIG or no?
Yeah, just go ahead and enter it as potentially significant, but I'm not anticipating anything coming forth as far as attention to or anything additional needed from the facility. Just document what you told me and the fact that you coordinate with the Dan Watts, Fighter Scramble, and what we have.
Okay. So the other thing that may come up, just for your awareness too, is that the den wasn't real happy because I get the impression they think that I ordered the scramble because they're the ones that are supposed to do that, and they did not. So they seemed a little upset by that. And I said I didn't order anything. I was just relaying information that they requested. So.
Oh, well.
So I don't know if that comes back in some type of a fashion as far as who ordered what. So.
Yeah, and if it does, I probably would not hear about it because that's. I don't know how they would communicate that back if they were not happy with it because I don't know what channels they would normally use.
Okay.
But, I mean, this is a weird enough thing that there's not a set procedure. I think you guys did the right thing in doing all the notifications the way you did. Like I said, just document what you have. And Oakland Center's got one in there marked potentially significant also. I'm trying to get into Cedar, but it's pretty slow right this
So I was going to do this as an aircraft operated at an altitude speed. It's like a TCAS one, like that particular drop down. I don't know if it's more appropriate to do something else. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
You know what? That sounds like an acceptable category.
Okay. Okay.
It's not often we hear about an unknown guy up at that altitude.
Right.
So, all right. Thank you so much for that briefing. And
okay.
I'm going to peek at the Oakland MOR just the same and see what else they put on there.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Okay. Have a good night, sir.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So there you go, guys. This is what we know about the incident through the Freedom of Information Act. It's not a lot, but it's enough to be very, very interesting. What we do know, collectively, these materials give us incredible insight, not only into this incident, but also how this event is actually handled by those responsible for our safety in the air and also on the ground below. I want you to think about that for a minute. There was an object, they don't know what it was, circling and maneuvering around a commercial passenger airline. They saw it on radar and then it fell off radar. They saw the commercial airline on radar, but they did not see the object following it. It was being reported by other pilots that were flying in that air traffic region, stating that they saw something, but they don't know what it was, following a commercial airline. So what is NORAD's response? what is the FAA's response? To send up F-15s. Interesting. F-15s loaded with missiles. They referred to it as the target, and they talked about the battlefield, which is the area where they were planning or trying to navigate into to take down whatever it was that they did not know what it was that was hovering near a commercial airline, knowing that if they shot it down, it could possibly take down a commercial passenger airline. I'm sorry I'm laughing. It's not funny. It's very serious, but I'm appalled at the idea that this is the conclusion that our government officials would come to, that they think that response is okay. Excuse me while I shiver just a little bit, because I'm actually picturing myself, my friends, my family on that commercial airline. That is an incredibly scary thought. But anyway, the air traffic controllers, the Air Force radar operators, the airline pilots, the FAA officials tasked with this responsibility, this is how they handled it. Above all else, this new evidence underscores just how rare these events actually are, especially ones including multiple sightings, the use of multiple sensors, the involuntary involvement of various agencies, including the military, in some of the most capable air-to-air fighters in the world. And after the recent reports unmasking how the Pentagon reacts highly to these kind of encounters, excuse me, just like this one, it holds even more weight than it did when it was originally happened, which was October the 25th, 2017. Now that we've got the release of what the Pentagon has been doing as far as unidentified flying objects, unidentified flying airships, intruder airships, whatever you want to call them, UFO, I don't care what you call them. Something that they don't know what the hell it is, they're prepared to shoot it down even though it's circling around a commercial passenger airline, and they think that's okay. I don't know how you feel about it. I'm not comfortable with that thought. But leave your thoughts, your comments down below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you really liked it, hit the subscribe button. I'll keep you updated on anything else that comes up with this story. But under the Freedom of Information Act, this is all they really gave us. But very interesting story of how they respond to these kind of incidents. Hearing it in their own voices. Some of them calm voices. That one woman laughing, thinking it's amusing to send up F-15s loaded with missiles. Didn't find that funny at all, but yeah, these are how our government officials and people who in the airline industry handle these kind of events. So it's interesting to learn that from their perspective. So again, leave your comments and thoughts down below. I'm interested in what you have to say. Until next time, bye-bye.